Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Craft. Now, as you can see, I moved to this corner from that corner, and now I have a chair. A cozy little old creaky chair. This is my first office chair in Greece, and it almost falls apart, but I love it. Anyhow, what we're gonna do now? What's on today's agenda? So, on today's agenda, I want to talk to you about the shit I've been doing over the weekend. I haven't been very productive because it's hot and there's only so much time I can use for resin because my shack is about 40 to 45 degrees Celsius with about 10% humidity, so it's like desert. And here we have 100 centigrade Celsius, no, 100 Fahrenheit. So it is very hot and humid. Now, I've done a few pieces and I want to talk to you about this one first. So I got this one canvas from the school supply shop where students get their art things. It was dodgy as heck, to be honest. It's basically a circle MDF strip with some canvas stapled on it very idiotically. Um, what I want to tell you about is how I messed up this piece and how much I hate it. So basically, I wanted to do the usual sunset I've done before. Okay, so I wanted to spray the sun here and spray water here and just blend it in with my fingers and do a little purple for the haze. Now what happened is I sprayed the sun here, I sprayed the water here, and then I accidentally touched it. Now, when I accidentally touch it, it means that I actually have to redo the whole thing. So scrape the whole thing off and respray everything because it will give off a texture failure. And here, when you do the blending of the sky, you can't touch it up. You have to reblend everything to have a consistent finish. But ADHD brain kicking in, I was immediately like, I have to fix this, I have to fix this. So I went to town and I tried to fix it and I made it even worse. And I made it even worse. Then I touched the sun and I was like, okay, you know what? Up this. And I tried to blend it in as much as possible. And it gave this hazy, watery, sunsetty thingy, and there's like fog and everything. And in the high heat, it like does wrinkle tinkle thingy. Now, why I hate this piece is because I had a picture in my head what I wanted to transport to canvas, and this is not it. And thus, I have the feeling of this piece being a failure. So when I look at it, I look at my failure bringing the picture from my head onto the canvas. Thus, I hate the final product. I showed it to wifey, and wifey told me that it's pretty good. It's different, but it's pretty good. Which in wife talk means it could be shit, it could be good. I don't speak woman. So, yeah, maybe she didn't want to hurt my feelings. Maybe she was right. I am overthinking things. I need a sip of coffee. But anyway, yeah. So, what should I do with this? And I was thinking, I'm gonna bring it to the shop and I'm gonna just leave it somewhere. And if somebody likes it, I will give it to them for whatever they want to pay for it. And that's how we're gonna go about this one. Not every failure is a failure. Now, I wanted to experiment with spray paint a little more And by this time, you guys know I love bubbles, and I learned a lot about myself watching bubbles paint. And this is one of my finger paintings from the early times when I practiced spray paint and how it reacts and everything. So I have these wooden cutting boards imported from China. They are made of bamboo, pretty cheap, but pretty sturdy as well. And I love this metal handle here. And I wanted to do a waterfront spray painting. So I sprayed everything with this blue, and I put a piece of board here, and I sprayed the board with the dark blue, and I put more thicker light blue here, and I started blending it in like with my finger, and I sprayed white with my finger, and I did this, and I sprayed a little more, and I messed about it. Oh yeah, and when I did this dark blue, I did a dark blue here and here in the corner. And this is how it turned out. Now, my wife, she is I taught her to be ruthless critic of my work because because she's way too nice. And I don't need niceties, I need ruthless, painful, hateful comments. What is the worst thing she can say about my art? And if that's a good thing, like if it not that bad, that means my art is good. If it's really bad, then it's bad. I hope you see what I'm trying to say here. But anyway, she said this looks like a finger paint by a 5-year-old, and it is. Anyway, I don't think I'm gonna sell this ever, but I love it that this wood part, it looks like the sand, and this looks like the water, and I like the clouds, especially this one. This one looks funky. So anyway, I brought it in the shop. Also, this is gonna be one of the pieces which I'm just gonna lay down somewhere. Nothing fancy. And if someone wants it, they can buy it. Now, I put this here. I will put this here, and I have a sip of water. Because I'm desperately dehydrated, and this is Sunday, and I'm not doing edited work today. This is just the hangout where we talk about the stuff I've been doing off camera. It's really hard to work on camera when I have my camera stand here in shop and I forgot to bring it home with me, and I have the urge to make. So excuse me because I did not bring everything I wanted. Anyway, these are just boards we done previously, you and and I just finished them. I just sent it their backs, and they need to be oiled and waxed and all that. But more importantly, I have these little trays. Remember, we've been messing with these, and I put silicone in the back, and you guys told me I should use painter's tape because it's much easier to clean. And you're right, it's much easier to clean. So what you do with painter's tape is that you put it up to the edge in all corners, but you leave a little space in the bead, right? And then you remove the tape, so you're gonna have a nice bead of silicone. Why I don't do that? It's very simple. There's only very low quality painter's tape on this island, and I have my standards. Thank you very much. And I forgot about it, and I don't have any more excuses. So sorry, but yeah, no painter's tape. So remember the time I was talking to you about how much I love sand and how much it helps my ADHD brain to de-hyper focus from my problems and just calm down because of all the little particles in the sand. So I've done this. I hope the camera picks it up. I basically collected the nicest sand and gravel I could find from the shore. You can see my seashore, ocean, seashore, beach coasters video. I'll show you where I picked these from. So I collected some of this sand and I poured it into the tray and I poured resin over it. This was the second experiment. So this was I mixed it with resin and I flattened it, and once it cured, I gave it a flat coat to make sure it doesn't go over this bit. But I taped the edges off anyway, just to make sure I don't have an overflow. And now I have a nice picture of the beach, and it's smooth. So what I learned in this one is that this will be hard to clean up. So try not to mess about it too much, because epoxy, if it gets on raw wood, you have to sand it back before you oil it because it's gonna leave a mark and all that jazz. But anyway, I love this piece, and I'm really proud of it. And yeah, it was just a happy job, you know. It took me about, I don't know, like half an hour mucking about. You know, make sure everything is level, nothing stands out too much. Take out the leaves and floaty bits, and then fluff coat the whole thing. I got this tray from the craft supply shop here in Greece, and this tray costed me €3.99 plus the sand. Sand is free, but it took me petrol to get there, pick it up, clean it. So basically an hour, 2 hours pre work, and I think it has about 300, maybe 400 grams of resin mix with hardener. So it's 400 grams resin and hardener plus the sand. It weighs about 800 grams all in all. But this thing is very well built. It only seeps through at the joints, but you can just PVA it or silicone it or tape it, you know, just to make sure it doesn't flow through. So that was one. This is heavier. This was the original first ever piece, and it has 3 flat coats on it because I put the big pieces in this one. It's very thick as well, and this is gonna need a little bit more cleanup because this was the experimental phase. I'm sorry I didn't record it, guys, but it happened last night, and I had the camera in the shop. I had the camera stand in the shop, and so basically I was cleaning up the shack, like dusting and hoovering and everything. And you know, it comes to when I have a maker crisis, so I don't know what to make, I start cleaning up the shop, and ta-da, eventually pops in my mind, you know, what to do. So I made this last night. Sorry I didn't record it, but if you want, I can make a video on this, how I made it. It's nothing fancy, but you know, we can hang out and make it anyway together. I need to make more anyway, because hopefully this is gonna sell like hotcakes. Yeah, so this was the second piece I've been doing. And look at this. Now, same tray from the same shop, but this tray is a little bit bigger. You can see it, right? So this tray is $7.99 in the craft shop, but it's the same build quality, the same thing. They machine it and they knock it together. What I've done here is I mixed some resin with sand, but I mixed small sand with resin here, very very fine sand, and then I poured. So I basically mixed up like half a kilo of epoxy, right? And I mixed some with sand, I put it here, I put it in nicely, and then I put a couple of seashells in here. Make sure that I got the bubble from underneath the seashell. Okay, so when you put the seashell in epoxy, you're gonna have a bubble inside the seashell and it's gonna start to float. So I got the bubble out from both. And then I mixed up some very, very, very dark blue and some turquoise. You see, I'm learning. I'm improving. I can say this word now. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, so and then I got some clear, and then I added some white, and sprayed it with alcohol and mucked about it, and it's not the nicest waves ever. You know, other people do it better, but this is a first try, and I'm really happy about it, and I hope the camera focuses on it. But yeah, so it came out. Oh yeah, and once it's cured, I flood coated the entire thing. Now I only have some pokey bits here and maybe here, but the worst thing that happened is I have to show this to you because this is gonna be ridiculous. So everything came out fine, but here I had a bubble. Look at it. And this bubble is a bane of my existence because this bubble popped. And now it's a crater. And two ways I can go, but I know I have no, this is a piece of rock. So this is the edge of the rock. That's what I'm saying. It's a little bit bumpy here. Anyway, so focus, anymore. So two ways I can go about it. I can literally flood coat the whole thing again, but everything else is so nice, and I really don't want to put more epoxy into this one because this boy is a heavy boy, as you can see. So I need to fix that bubble, and I really don't want to flood coat the whole thing again. But I could do it. I'm not saying I couldn't, but you know, So I have an idea, and we're gonna super glue, and this is gonna be the meat of this video, because you know, in every video we do something. So I will try to flatten this crater out a little, carve out the pieces I don't need, and I will apply a dot of super glue in it because I'd rather have a little bump than a crater. So that's what's gonna happen now. Okay? I was thinking we can oil these together and all that. Oh, look at this. So we can oil these together or something like that, you know, and sand these things down. But oh, come on, guys. You already done that. I've already done that. It's boring. I've been talking way too much, and we need to experiment because it's a craft, and I'm already 19 minutes in, and we have done nothing useful today. So I am setting up the camera right now to have it perfectly aligned. Yes. Das ist das bubble. Is it any? I know it sucks. I'm sorry. Look, this is my first time too. Okay. Okay. Now, get my handy dandy multi-tool and start. I wanna still gooey. It's not gooey, but it's still malleable. I feel I'm just making it worse. There you go. Oh, come now. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay, so CA glue, in its other name, super glue, it's a very nice thing. It was originally invented in a world war to fix wounds. It's plastic and cyanide. If you read upon this, you can learn a lot about super glue, but super glue is crazy good. Only thing is, sometimes it gets into a reaction to the material which it bonds with, and it gives off heat and very, very bad fumes. Okay, so now I'm using the dripper to add some glue to it. Okay, got that. I found another bubble. I'm doing the same thing. But in another place. There you go. Okay, it's not perfect. It does the job. Oh. I can also put this on a t-shirt. Okay. And for all of you who stayed this long and still watching my pointless ramblings, because turns out, let me just set this camera up to its original posizione. Sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on to your butts. Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. Boink. Oh, wow. So, this is scary. I need to push this a little bit more in. Turn this a little bit more that way. There we go. So, turns out, most of the people who watch my videos, all 200 of you, don't really watch to the end. But this is the end of the video, and I bought a scratch card, and we're gonna scratch it down together. It's all in Greek though, so I can barely understand what's going on. So turns out I have a number line here, and this has to match, one of these has to match these numbers. Very simple. Meanwhile, I'm scratching off this card. I bought this from. So there's a story of an old accountant who turned into a scratch card seller on the island, and this old gentleman travels through the island all day with his scooter, and he shouts scratch cards, lotto tickets, and everything in Greek. And he has a bunch of scratch cards in his hand, and he walks around town, and everybody buys a scratch card from him. And during COVID, he lost his job as an accountant, and he started selling scratch cards. And he's way above 60 now, maybe 70. And when we moved here 3 years ago, I bought a scratch card from him on the first day, and ever since when we meet, it's became a tradition that whatever coins I have in my pocket, I give it to him, and he gives me a scratch card, and I never win. I think the biggest winning I ever had, it was like 100 euros ever, but I always lose. I love this because it's the anticipation. I never look at the price and how much I win. It's just if I can match it or not. Um, Anyway, it's a story of that, and thus I met him this morning. So that's why I have the scratch card, and we're gonna scratch together and see if I can pay the rent for the rest of the year, or do I still need to work tomorrow. Let's do some housekeeping, okay? You guys been supporting me so much on buymeacoffee.com. I have to put your name here on the list. I am extremely grateful for you that you have threw some coins at me. I was able to pay off 1 month rent for the shop in advance, which is not a lot. It's 400 euros, but over the last month, you guys donated a little here, a little there, and it came all together, and I was able to put all the money together, and I decided I will pay the rent with that money. And yes, I am. It's crazy that people pay for me to talk to them or be myself. It's weird. It's just it's so goes against my self-hate. It's not even funny. But anyway, thank you, because now I can sleep better for 1 more month because I am able to pay the bills or pay the rent. So I'm not in existential danger anymore for at least 1 month. And thank you. And if you like my stupid face and if you stayed this long and like my shit, you can like, share, subscribe, and comment on this video. And if you still feel like it, you can support me at buymeacoffee.com, because it not just buys me coffee, it pays my rent as well. It's weird. I never thought donations gonna pay my rent. Ever. I feel so weird right now. It's like you hear this in the stories and everything, and all that, and I'm like, yeah, but you should work. I don't think of this as real work. That's why I have the shop. That's why I put these out to sell, to work, to actually work and pay the rent that way. And then people came together and like, hey Bella, buy coffee. Hey Bella, pay the bills. Hey Bella, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Thank you. So you made this possible. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, and regarding YouTube and the memberships and policies and everything, I spoke with my lawyer because I wanted to touch on that too. And I spoke with my lawyer, and my lawyer said that I need to start a company in Hungary, get an official address in Hungary, and register an AdSense with that company, and move my current AdSense connection from YouTube to that company's AdSense, and then I will be able to safely and legally get my money from YouTube and tax it in the country I'm working in, or country I'm living in, wherever I live, whenever. So that's good, and I will be able to do that in about 60 days or something, because Google doesn't allow you to change AdSense partners for some days, and I think it's 32 days and other things. So yeah, that's something to look out for. Membership's gonna be back, and you can support me on YouTube as well. Not just yet, but yeah. So yeah, let's do the scratchy. So on the first row, I have 24. 24 is the number we need to hit. And the first one is 15. The second one is 41, 11, 38. Okay, the second number we need to hit in the second row is 30. And the numbers are 40. Oh, nice. 23, 16, 25. And the third number we need to hit is 26. And it's 29, 14, 13, 39. And the last number we need to hit is 28. And it's 36, 18, 21, and 12. Thus, we lost. Anyway, I have to work another month. All right, I think I've done everything I wanted today. I told you everything I wanted to tell you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you got something out of this video. I know it's not my usual making video, but yeah, I tried to super glue some epoxy, and yeah, I think I have the white haze around it. So basically, it's so humid that it created a white crater around the super glue, which is not a problem because I can fix that with some oils. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me in this one. I hope you guys got something out of this video. And next videos are coming next week. I have the shop sign ready and everything. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.